Hey guys, Spirit of the Law here. Last week we looked at some of the most broken civilizations in 10x Shared Civ bonus mod, where all players' bonuses and unique techs on each team are combined and then multiplied by 10. In this video, we're going to look at not just the individually strong civs with those settings, but specific 4-player team combos that become more than the sum of their parts to unlock some truly broken strategies. Some commenters last time shared their own great ideas for funny civ combinations as well, with a few I want to highlight near the end for being particularly clever. We'll start though with what I consider one of the most powerful strategies period, which is the full team castle spam. There's really 7 contenders to consider here, from which we can only pick 4 for our team. First off, we're going to need Franks or Incas, as either one, when they share their stone discount, make the whole team's castles completely free. I lean here toward the Incas, as they're going to give us massive armor on our villagers, a starting llama with 1,000 food, plus houses provide 55 pop space, and I just preferred their set of secondary bonuses as a whole. The next 2 are kind of no-brainers, and we want both. The Teutons giving our castles plus 30 range, as well as Celts, with their unique tech letting our castles fire at over 4 times the usual rate. We still have to worry a bit about enemy rams, and enemy Celt or Mongol siege rams in particular may still be able to get close enough to take out our castles. If we're really worried about that, we could round out the team with Persians, giving our castle shots over 50 attack per arrow and plus 30 damage versus rams, which is pretty tempting. Though personally, I'd instead go with one of Spanish or Sicilians for their build speed, with a Sicilian teammate allowing castles to be made in just over 30 seconds with a single villager. Ultimately, why bother trying to protect our handful of castles from rams when we can just build them faster than they can be taken down? Maybe a slightly different direction we could go with a similar idea would be to swap out Incas for Franks, so we could stack the Frank HP bonus, Teuton's armor, and the Sicilian's Halberd unique tech on our Nightline, which gives us a good backup melee unit against those rams in particular. Still, I'm going with the original ones I mentioned, as free, quickly built castles really are the foundation for the strategy. Unironically, this combo might beat everything else on the list once it gets rolling, as very few units can stand up to castles with 40 plus range. For example, there's no trebuchet in the game that can outrange these castles, and certainly couldn't take them down faster than we could build them. Speaking of trebs though, next up let's try to make the ultimate trebuchet civ. No question, we're obviously going to need Japanese to give us a supercharged fire rate and instant packing up, as well as Tatars for plus 20 range. We could then go with Huns for more accuracy against units, but we actually get 100% accuracy from the Britain's Warwolf tech anyway, as well as some pretty ridiculous splash damage, so we can just take Britons here instead of Huns. Any 4th civ on the team would work at this point, such as Chinese for a great economy to start, but if we want the truly best trebuchets, we should add Saracens for 2.5 times the usual attack, letting us start one-shotting castles with just a handful of trebs. Other potential civs to consider would be Celts for the faster attack rate, not that we really need it, or Berbers to reduce the training time to just a few seconds, but I like the 4 we already have. Keeping the siege theme going, next let's make the best onager combo. Clearly, we need to start here with the Celts' fire rate, creation time, and HP, and we don't want enemy units getting away, so I then throw in the Mongols for the super speed and Koreans for the plus 10 range, plus complete removal of minimum range. We do have some concerns here about enemy melee units, especially if the other team has Cumans giving them super fast cavalry, so we could either address that with the Teutons to add plus 40 melee armor, or Ethiopians for an incredible area effect, letting us hit a lot of units with each shot even if we miss. Again though, the answer here I like best is to just make them free with a Slav ally. Their blast radius is less impressive than with Ethiopians as our 4th civ, but with free, quickly created siege onagers, we don't really have to worry about how many we're losing, and also avoid a lot of friendly fire. Again, the main concern here throughout is fast enemy melee units avoiding our shots, which is why for my money, the better siege choice in the mod to focus on is actually instead the Scorpion. Here we have a lot of choice in good civs, but the first 2 are pretty obvious. Khmer for the plus 10 range and 10 extra projectiles that are all half strength, as well as the Romans, so our Scorpions cost no gold and have a much faster attack rate. Next, I'd throw in Ethiopians, which I know sounds odd since I didn't end up picking them for the onagers, but torsion engines is really underestimated for Scorpions, becoming insane in 10x mod, where their bolt can reach up to 3 tiles to each side, so we really hit a lot more units than just what we're firing at. To round out the team, we have a lot of good choices from here, including Slavs to make them all free, Celts for a ton of HP, faster firing and creation speed, Mongols for the faster movement, and Chinese for their plus 40 attack on the main projectile and plus 20 on our secondary ones. They're all tempting, But of these, I think Chinese are the most critical, letting us do almost 4 times the damage to castles. Suddenly, there's surprisingly little that can slow us down, and even very good cavalry units won't survive long enough to get close. An opponent would pretty much have to get to these with something long range, which leads us nicely into the next category, creating the best archer combination. First off, I should note archers typically aren't as strong as you might think in this mod, given how many things have high pierce armor, but we can keep that issue in mind and try to address it. Obviously, we need Britons plus 30 range for foot archers, and Ethiopians, giving us almost triple the usual fire rate. We can then add in Mayans for free archers, including unique units, as well as plus 10 starting villagers. Keep in mind, elite units get 10 times the regular benefit from their elite upgrade, so we want as many archer unique units on the team as possible, and this gives us at least 2 civilizations able to make unique units over Arbalesters, which in this case have just 10 attack. It's very tempting to throw in Saracens here for the extra damage against buildings, especially since the bonus is technically plus 3 in the base game, not plus 2, so it's even better than it seems. The idea is your opponent can't do much if you're just melting their buildings from a distance, but I actually think the Saracen choice would be a mistake. I've seen players with Britons and Ethiopians in the mod together be completely ineffective against units with high HP and armor if they use the generic archer line. What archers need in the mod is to improve their attack, which is where our 4th civ comes in, the Vikings. They have a unique tech giving our archer lines plus 10 damage to help avoid situations our teammates without an archer unique unit, including Ethiopians, will be doing just 1 damage per shot. With only a 4-player team, I think Saracens would be too greedy, and even with Vikings, units like Elite Huskarls are still a major problem. Again, archers are a difficult unit to focus on in this mod because too many things have amazing armor, but this combo would give us our best chance, in my opinion. So that's archers, but what about cavalry? It's tempting here to go for some sort of super beefed up paladin, or piling bonuses onto the Byzantine cataphract. But if we go for a Byzantine focused strategy, only 1 player is able to make that unit. Instead, let's take the trample damage aspect that makes it so broken and refocus around Polish winged hussars, who also have trample damage but will share that unit and effect with the team. From here, we could focus on beefing up its stats, but a better idea, I think, is instead to make our first ally the Georgians. Not only will our team's winged hussars heal 150 HP per minute, but after unique tech, they'll take up 0 population space. We could then add in the Berbers to make our team's stable units free, and while Magyars would do the same thing in this case, I prefer the Berbers' faster villagers to the Magyars' secondary benefits. We now have lots of options for a 4th civ, between Malians giving our winged hussars plus 50 attack, Franks for 200% more HP and faster stable production, but I think the Galaxy Brain move is Cumans as our 4th civ. They give us a creation speed boost with unique tech, free stables, and also faster movement speed. We want our completely free and almost instantly created infinite number of winged hussars to sprint past enemy units and get everywhere in their economy. I don't know if this beats the infinite castle spam strategy, but once it gets rolling, we can just spam infinite free units with trample damage for days, or at least until the game crashes, from 10,000 winged hussars trying to pathfind around each other. To round out the basic unit types, of course, we next have to look at infantry. In this case, the Goths alone are a 1 civ infantry wrecking crew, giving the team free elite Huskarls at the barracks produced nearly instantly, plus an extra 100 pop limit in Imperial Age. We don't really have to add any more to that, but we could give them the Celt speed boost and Slavs Druzhina for the same splash damage we've already seen can be so effective. To round out the team with a 4th civ, we could go with Aztecs for their plus 40 attack to rack up the damage and creation speed even more, but I personally prefer Vikings, giving us 480 HP as well as plus 50 bonus damage against cavalry with a unique tech, which is especially nice as many elite upgrades give cavalry unique units a ton of HP. We might still struggle against cataphracts, though that said, our Huskarls are free, created by 4 different players at once, and are created much faster than what a Byzantine player alone could produce, so we might win anyway with just raw numbers. So those are the basic unit types, and what I personally like is a 4 civ combo for each. But now let's take a look at a few suggestions made in the comments of the previous tier list video that jumped out to me. First, RedX5912 highlights the 3 Meso civ combo, giving some very well-rounded eagles. I still think you need Goths on this team to make them free and created faster, but there is something undeniably satisfying about combining the 3 usually disjointed American unique techs for their eagles all at once. Another commenter, John, said he has over 500 hours in the 10x mod, and the best combo in his opinion is Khmer, Italians, Cumans, and Malay. That's certainly stacking a lot of bonuses for quick advancing, and it's completely realistic to hit Imperial Age in under 30 seconds with this combo, having then Melee give you free battle elephants. Cumans then add in the ability to make stables for free, and both Cumans and Khmer combine to add super speed to your free battle elephants, so it does sound like a way to certainly speedrun a victory. I was lucky enough to be part of a similar combo once, where our team happened to roll Khmer, Berbers, Gujars, and Cumans. Cumans gave us free stables, with then a Khmer player making free super speed battle elephants, again combining these speed boosts from two different civilizations, with then Gujars multiplying those elephants' hidden bonus damage against walls. Our opponents walled up right away, but those didn't last too long, and was among the quicker games I've experienced with the mod. Another comment I love is the yellow ant suggesting Malians, Incas, and Sicilians. The combo of Malians discounting wood on buildings and Incas removing stone costs means all of your town centers are free, with Sicilians letting your villagers build them almost instantly. It's an especially clever combo given Malians also give each of those town centers 80 passive arrows after a unique tech. Adding Lithuanians to the team then gives those town centers plus 30 range, which sounds a lot like the infinite castle spam we saw earlier, and completely replaces the need for an economy, as building each of those free town centers also gives you 1,000 free food. I prefer this over the builds focusing just on boosting villager stats with Spanish, Incas, etc., as even with super villager stats, they don't feel like they beat more conventional units and would require a ton of micro, whereas in this case our villagers are heavily involved, but it's the buildings doing the heavy lifting and auto-firing. The level of micro required is also my hesitation when it comes to monk-focused combos, and is why I didn't include one in this list. That'll do it for this one though, as just a fun look at the more theory crafting side of a great mod, which has easily become one of my favorites. Big thanks to James, Jared2142, Niels, Samantha, Shawarma Rider, Steven, Woodruff, and everyone else on Patreon for their amazing support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.